AP Radio News. I'm Ed Donahue. Back-to-back earthquakes shook Anchorage and other parts of Alaska today. One a magnitude 7.0, the other 5.8.
I want to reassure people who are concerned about folks here in Anchorage that we are on top of this situation.
That is the mayor of Anchorage, Ethan Berkowitz. Gavin Hayes with the U.S. Geological Survey says these were strong quakes.
It's what we call a normal faulting earthquake, and because it's so close to Anchorage in terms of horizontal distance and reasonably shallow, it's caused pretty significant shaking, very strong to severe shaking in Anchorage. So it's likely to have caused quite a bit of damage.
The Alaska Railroad is suspending all operations. The operators of the 800-mile-long Trans-Alaska Pipeline says they shut down the system as a precaution. There are reports of damaged buildings in Alaska and buckled roads. President Trump says he is thinking about the people of Alaska and help will be on the way to those who need it. From the G20 summit in China, President Trump signed a trade deal with Canada and Mexico.
This is a model agreement that changes the trade landscape forever.
Trade has been at the top of President Trump's agenda at the G20 summit. From the joint signing this morning of the new trade agreement with Mexico and Canada to an afternoon session with the prime ministers of Japan and India.
We're doing a lot of trade together.
But European officials complain that behind the scenes, the U.S. is blocking progress on world trade rules, climate, and migration. A French official says the summit's final statement may have language that sets the U.S. apart, saying, for instance, 19 of the G20 countries agree on the importance of upholding the Paris Climate Accord, but the U.S. doesn't. I'm Ben Thomas.
Special counsel Robert Mueller is considering new charges for Donald Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort after his plea deal fell apart over allegations of lying to investigators. A grand jury has indicted a white former Dallas police officer for murder in the killing of her unarmed black neighbor. This is AP Radio News. A court in Japan is okaying extending custody of ex-Nissan chairman Carlos Ghosn.
Tokyo's district court says it's approved a prosecutor's request to keep Ghosn until December 10 for further investigation into his financial irregularities. Ghosn was arrested on November 19 on suspicion he'd falsified financial statements and underreported his remunerations. His first 10 days in custody expires at the end of Friday. The court says it's also keeping another former Nissan executive, Greg Kelly. He was arrested with Ghosn on suspicion he collaborated in the alleged underreporting of his boss's remunerations. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Hackers stole information on as many as 500 million guests of the Marriott Hotel empire over the last 4 years. The New Hampshire Young Democrats invited Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke to the home of the nation's first presidential primary. There's heightened buzz O'Rourke could run for the White House in 2020. I'm Ed Donahue, AP Radio News.